Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber. Search and rescue efforts continue in South Florida tonight after part of a residential building collapsed. Authorities tonight say nearly 99 people are still unaccounted for. We'll bring you the latest on this developing situation in our top story at 5. Security camera video from the adjacent condo captured this moment of the collapse. The Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says that more than 80 units were sent to that scene to respond. At least one person is confirmed dead. Dozens more were pulled from that tower this morning. 55 of the 136 units at that tower collapsed. Officials don't know how many people were inside the tower when it fell around 1:30 in the morning. Many residents were rescued from their balconies.
We opened up the door from our apartment and there was a huge pile of rubble.
Officials say they are concerned about approaching storms contributing to a potential secondary collapse. They add they still don't know how many people could still be trapped under the rubble tonight. Here in Siouxland, multiple fire crews are still battling a large Holt County grass fire. It started up during Wednesday night's storm. O'Neill Fire Chief Roger Miller says in total there were 7 lightning-induced fires. They spread from Highway 11 to near Highway 281. Miller adds that roughly 6,000 acres have burned and there are confirmed cattle deaths. Some abandoned buildings have burned as well. Crews are waiting for air support, but some good news. They say that fire is now under control. At least 13 fire departments from Nebraska and South Dakota responded to the scene. People are asked to avoid the area in the meantime. And residents in northeast Nebraska were woken up to the sound of weather sirens from that storm late last night into the early morning hours. High winds gusting up to 85 miles an hour and heavy rain caused widespread tree and crop damage. The storms began around 11 o'clock last night and crossed into Iowa around 3 in the morning. The rain totals in northeast Nebraska also surpassed an inch. A Stanton resident recalls what it was like to be woken up by this storm.
So my wife and I paid attention and then fell asleep, but the sirens were activated, and as soon as you hear the sirens, you go downstairs. So we sheltered down in the basement for, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes.
KCAU 9 News reporter Jason Toctasian shows us the extent of the damage coming up tonight at 6. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds will send members of the Iowa State Patrol to the southern border. The governor's office announced today those officers will aid law enforcement efforts there at the request of Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Arizona's Governor Doug Ducey. In an email statement, Reynolds cited an unsustainable rise in drugs, human trafficking, and violent crime at the border as influences in her decision to send that aid. The governor's office did not specify how many officers will be deployed at the border, but noted 24 Iowa National Guard soldiers are already there as part of a 2020 request from the federal government. Now, Iowa joins Idaho, Florida, and Nebraska in sending law enforcement to assist Arizona and Texas at the southern border. Participants in the Transition Alliance program, also known as TAP, are learning some valuable life skills this week. The Sioux City Community School District, in partnership with the Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services, is assisting young adults with disabilities to live more independent lives. They're doing so by providing some hands-on experiences. Today, the Sioux City Fire Department and EMS spoke with students at North High School about the possibility of entering into that field. One participant says it was a fun learning experience.
I want to learn how to be in EMS because I just like helping people and stuff like that.
It's a week-long camp for these students. They can participate both virtually and also in person. We know 4th of July is just a week or so away, and city officials are doing what they can to both educate and warn community members of the firework ordinances. That ordinance is still in effect, and it allows residents to set off fireworks during the times of 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. on July 3rd and on July 4th. Officials say if residents are unable to abide by those rules, they're considering banning the use of fireworks altogether. As of now, if you're caught sparking fireworks outside those designated times, you can receive a citation or be fined up to $250. The South Dakota Supreme Court is still weighing an appeal tonight regarding Amendment A. That amendment would, of course, legalize marijuana for people ages 21 and older. That was approved by voters in November. Under state law, ballot measures take effect officially on July 1st. The South Dakota State Court administrator says a decision will not be issued before that date. Until the court issues their opinion, the ruling of the Circuit Court declaring Amendment A unconstitutional remains in effect. An appeals court has suspended Rudy Giuliani from practicing law in the state of New York because he made false statements while trying to get courts to overturn Donald Trump's loss in the presidential race. An attorney disciplinary committee said its motion to suspend Giuliani's license that there was, quote, uncontroverted evidence that Giuliani made those false statements to the courts, the public, and lawmakers as he pushed theories that the election was stolen through fraud. The ruling, signed today, will prevent Rudy Giuliani from representing clients as a lawyer. Former police officer Derek Chauvin will be sentenced tomorrow. That's Friday, of course, for the murder of George Floyd. Prosecutors are asking for a 30-year sentence, saying Chauvin's deadly arrest of Floyd was an abuse of power. Minnesota sentencing guidelines for someone with no criminal history, like Chauvin, suggests 10 to 15 years in prison. Chauvin's lawyers want a shorter term or even probation. We turn our attention back now to the weather, although it has been in the headlines tonight. Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson standing by for the latest on all of that. Really, Scott?
Well, yeah, we had some wind gusts early this morning, Sophie, that were very powerful, between 60 and 85 miles per hour. High temperatures this afternoon. You can see that those were able to lift into the 80s for most. A warm and humid day with a high temperature of 82 in Sioux City, 84 in Yankton. Turning our attention to the radar now, you can see that we have some light rain that is continuing to pass through the region at this time. And it does look like we'll have some rain without severe weather. So that's a nice change of pace. A very slim chance of severe storms as you head south toward Omaha tonight. A better opportunity at more widespread storms happening tomorrow afternoon. And we'll have an update on that as well as what lies ahead for the weekend. A cool down coming our way. That's in the 9 on 9 forecast. Sophie?
All right, thanks, Scott. As seniors from the class of 2021 turn the page on high school and then move on to the next phase of their lives, they carry with them many memories. COVID-19 for sure, and for some, the unexpected good that actually came from last year's long virus fight. As Tim shows us, senior members of the Ridgeview High School Choir are moving on after making some musical history in this week's Siouxland Story.
Holstein, Iowa isn't a place that you would expect a music producer to be looking for talent. But when the daughter of April Lang was closing in on her high school graduation, Mom wanted to make it special for her daughter and every member of the Ridgeview Choir. She turned to her cousin, who's married to the music producer who discovered Prince. Yes, that Prince.
I called my cousin up and I said, hey, you know, Donna, is there any way he could do something for the kids, these poor kids that haven't got to take and have a great senior year?
She asked if he'd be willing to do a Zoom call with the students. What Chris Moon, who has sold more than 22 million records to date, ended up delivering was just a bit more.
I got a phone call a couple weeks later saying he's doing one better. He's going to write a song.
What if we wrote a song for the choir and we all produced a song together?
It was time to share the news with Ridgeview High School vocal music instructor Chris Kistenmacher.
She's like, Prince? Wow, I know him.
Well, they're very excited to hear that this producer who had worked with Prince wanted to work with our choir. They were like, what? How cool is that?
My roots go back to when I discovered Prince. Prince was only 16 years old. And so I like working with young talent. I see a lot of exuberance, a lot of energy, a lot of vitality.
And so the project began. The choir working long distance on a one-of-a-kind project.
It was definitely pretty surprising, just because we live, in small town Iowa, that something like this would be happening to us.
It was tedious. We would have to sing and we had to keep making sure it was just perfect, and then practicing without any background music.
It did turn out to be a lot of work, with having to stop the music every once in a while and play it back, listen to where we messed up.
What a wonderful human being to work with.
She recorded them at her end in various sections, sent us all the pieces. We assembled them here, and then I sent them on to Texas, and they were mixed down in Texas.
The original song, Change the World, was born, with the choir singing backup.
Positive message, which was a great thing for us to be involved with.
After all the negative this senior year included, finally some optimism for the class of 2020 to take with them.
A line in the song, "We've got fire burning in our soul," is kind of the motivating part. You got the flame in you to get it started, get that spark started in you.
Well, my hope would be that the class of Ridgeview High School would be able to take the message of the song and carry it forward and understand that they're now in control. They're leading all of our futures. And my hope is that we can see them, make this world a better place because of them.
We've only just begun. We're taking over now.
You could listen to Change the World in its entirety by downloading that song on iTunes. It's also on Spotify if you have that. Chris Moon now hopes to complete similar projects with high school choirs all across the country. Pretty cool. Well, the GOP calls it a power grab. Democrats want it passed without Republican support. More on the filibuster over election reform coming up.
And a wetter pattern continues in Siouxland with a chance of some showers and storms tonight, again tomorrow and through the weekend as well. We're going to have some more comfortable temperatures too as we trim down the humidity with highs in the 70s and 80s. Your 9 on 9 forecast coming up next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
For Saturday in the Park occurring next Friday and Saturday. Here's a great picture of a double rainbow that occurred in Akron, Iowa. Thanks to our viewer for passing that one along. If you have some pictures from the storms or anything else that you want to share, make sure to go to our website and send us your pictures.
I love that shot. Thanks a lot, Scott. Well, when you picture cattle getting rounded up, you might not think of a cul-de-sac in California, but that was the case on Tuesday. How a herd managed to escape and run to the streets coming up. But first, hundreds rallied at the Capitol today calling for an end to the filibuster. What legislation they want passed next. Hundreds rallied near the Capitol today. They're calling on Democrats to break the filibuster and allow Democrats to pass their legislative agenda without any Republican support. Raquel Martin brings us the latest on the uphill battle.
Self-described progressives rallied outside the Capitol. They want Congress to pass Democrats' legislative agenda as soon as possible.
We cannot wait for jobs. We cannot wait for relief. And we cannot wait for citizenship.
It's time. Misael Garcia is a DACA recipient from Mexico. Immigration is his top issue.
I have a 3-year-old daughter, U.S. citizen here.
He says he needs Congress to pass an immigration bill now. With the midterms around the corner, protesters say it's time Democrats take control and pass their agenda without Republicans. The holdup is the Senate, where most bills require votes from 10 Republicans for passage. It's called the filibuster.
The Republicans want to destroy our agenda.
Democratic Senator Ed Markey says he's ready to change Senate filibuster rules.
The people were demanding change when they voted in 2020.
But it's not just Republicans blocking Democrats' agenda. At least 2 Democrats say they won't vote to change the rules.
They agree with myself, actually.
Kansas Republican Senator Roger Marshall says the filibuster is good.
The filibuster pushes Republicans and Democrats to work together for long-term solutions.
In Washington, Raquel Martin, KCAU 9 News.
A herd of cattle were running free through a small California neighborhood, leaving people with plenty of cleanup. How they broke loose in the first place, coming up. In California, a cow roundup is over now, but a lot of questions remain about why and how it happened. An open gate at a slaughterhouse allowed that herd to escape. John Fenglio spoke with people who are still cleaning up tonight.
Margarita Rios and her neighbors have been power washing their driveways for hours. Her front lawn became a makeshift corral late last night after dozens of cows were cornered in her cul-de-sac and left behind quite a mess.
It was nerve-wracking because I did get nervous because I didn't know they were going to break into my garage.
Nearly 40 cattle clopping their way through Pico Rivera Tuesday evening. LA County Sheriff's deputies shot and killed one of the cows after it charged at a family, knocking some to the ground. No one was seriously injured. A bovine breakout after the herd escaped Manning Beef, a slaughterhouse located on the 9500 block of Beverly Road. Authorities say someone there forgot to lock one of the gates.
They seen a gate open and it's like, phew, I'm gone. It's like a prisoner being locked up. He sees a door open, he's in a split. Yeah.
Noe Valenzuela has lived here for 25 years. He doesn't have any beef with eating meat, but he thinks these cows deserve a second chance.
Let those cows live, let them go, and, you know, just keep them up in the hills somewhere and let them live the rest of their lives. I mean, they were already destined to be killed and stuff, you know, so if they give them that chance of living, that'll be great.
Taking a live look outside right now, Scott returns with one more check on your forecast. Stay with us. Seems our rain has also come with some severe weather, but that chance a little bit less tonight, but still a chance for rain.
Yeah, diminished chance of seeing anything severe happen in the area tonight, Sophie. As we look at the radar now, you can see that we have some garden variety summertime showers that are continuing to cross Siouxland from west to east. There is a low-end severe risk as you travel toward Omaha, but again, a very low chance. Moving to the 9 on 9 forecast, it looks like we'll have some more rain opportunities coming our way tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the upper 70s, so a good departure from the heat we've experienced lately. Highs in the 80s for most of next week.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tonight at 6. Until then, have a great night, everyone.